we go.
Figured it out?
Well, I just restarted a new one. So sorry about that, but we had a little technical glitch. The camera, it didn't actually go to my webcam. It went to my computer, so which is not good. So anyway, so I had to create a new live stream. So today I'm Amanda Taylor. This is Aureja. She's my little guest maker. I'm in the studio, and I'm at Oatka Glass Studio. So we are going to be actually making little Christmas ornaments for this live streaming video during the Tour of Arts Council studio tour, virtual studio tour. So these are some of the little ones we're making. We're going to be making some larger ones, and then we try to make a few of these little midnight, moonlight winter scenes as well. So at the beginning of this whole thing, of course, I had to set up everything. Aureja helped me with a little bit, but I had pre-made components that I make ahead of time. So these are called frit balls. So they're little round balls made out of glass, and I use them to decorate the little evergreen trees, among other things. But yeah, and they come in a variety of sizes depending on the size of the frit. So I make it out of either sheet glass cut up into little tiny pieces, or out of the glass frit that's in the jars. So it just depends on what I feel like using. So we've gone ahead. We have blue, red. I have more colors than this, but yellow, and this is like it's called opaline, so it's kind of like a white, but they actually glow. So we've separated out all the little tiny ones out of the jars so that they're small enough, because there's larger ones in here that'll fit on my piece of glass. So that's one of the components that I create for this work. The snow, I actually it's a pre-mixed snow mix that I make out of glass frit. So we'll be using that, and then same with the blue and the white snowflakes in the sky. That's also another little mix that we'll create. That's another component. For these pieces, these little moonlit winter scenes, the tree trunks are made either out of little stringers, or I actually make glass tree trunks myself. So, and these I actually made in the previous live stream on making components for the glass landscapes I do. Okay, so we'll get started. You ready? Okay, so the first thing to do is to gather all your components, which we have the trees, we have the little frit balls, we have our little pieces of glass that we've cut up to put the pieces on. So that's what we're going to continue on with. And now we're going to actually create some of the trees, the evergreen trees themselves, and that's done by taking some scrap glass. These are all separated into different colors. I have a variety of different colors that we've picked out. Some are transparent, like this one. You can actually see through it. You can see Aureja's face behind it. And then the other ones are opaque, or that you cannot see through them. So you cannot see Aureja's face. Anyway, and we're gonna nip these up, and we're gonna put them into little tiny containers that we have here. So I'll move you down a little bit so you can see what we're doing. So we have little glass nippers, or these little nipper tools, and these I like better for this is thin glass I'm using. So I'm gonna actually just nip off this little point so that it makes a tree. And now we have our first little tree. So we can put it on, our little background, and there's our little evergreen tree. So we're gonna nip up a bunch of these a variety of them in different colors, and we don't need that many because we're just doing a little demo here. So, but we're just gonna keep the colors separate. We probably could just stick them in here too, because really we're just gonna pick them out, right? Okay. So, and normally when I do this, I just start with one color, pull out the stuff that's in the bin here, you know, and that's a nice big tree, and that will work really nice. So some of the shapes will work for you. Yep, again. Some of the shapes will work for you the way they are out of the bag, like out of my little scrap bin. Then just use them. And I don't worry about cleaning off any of the marks that are on here because they'll burn out in the kiln. Just a black marker. Okay, so, and if you don't like the shape that you want, I'll move you down again. There, yes. So we're gonna just cut a shape out of here. So I'm actually going to, and then we'll use the running pliers. And the running pliers are a tool that we use to run the glass once we've scored it. So I'm putting it up against, you know, the score line that I made, and it just did it by itself. So there's my little tree. So you can use the glass cutter if you want to, just to get specific shapes. And it's only like what I normally do is I use the nippers only if I have a point like that, and it's obvious, and then you can just say, okay, I want it that big, okay? But everything else I usually use the glass cutters with, okay? Okay, so onward ho. Here we go. Just making a variety of trees. And I'm not gonna get too anal about it. They'll turn out just fine. There's two more little trees. Transparent against Aureja. Oh, there we go. You want to use that one? That's a big one. And like you can actually, I'm just gonna score it. Yeah, because that can be a big one. Okay. So once we have, you know, that's probably good enough for that color. So you can put all the glass that's here back into the bin so we don't lose track of which glass color it is. And now I'm gonna, this is a different kind of green, and it's an opal, which means I cannot see Aureja through it. So yeah, you can just pile them over there, because we'll be using them in a minute here anyways. Okay? Okay, so just grab another bin. You can start with that one. You can start cutting. Yep. And this already has a little line in it here, so you could probably, I would say, you can probably just run it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll do it on its own. And then you can just get
and then
see
I'll
how.
have two trees.
Yep, exactly. And this is a iridized glass, so it kind of has a little, and it's transparent because we kind of can see Aureja through it. And actually, you can see Aureja through it if we turn it the other way. So, yeah, so there, go for it. Okay, so I'm gonna nip these ones, cut them. You can use the glass cutter. You have a glass cutter over there too, right? Yeah, so you can do that. Don't have to. Yeah, so we're just going through and cutting up some little pieces. There we go. Stick it in here. Yep. Little tiny ones. So we have smaller pieces of glass that we're going to be creating little trees from. So, and here. So I'm not going to make too many of these. It's another one. Move on. Move on to the next color. I would cut this into a smaller one because that's kind of too big for any of the glass. Okay. And do we have anybody watching us? Deb Howell, good morning. Happy to see you too. I'll say that. Good morning, Deb. I mean, thanks for watching. I don't know if Aureja feels quite like that, but. Yep.
That one and
Yep. Yep. Okay, good. Move on to the next glass. Okay, so we're just gonna just pick a bin. Pick a bin, any bin. Pick a bin, any bin. Like I said, we don't need too many of each color, even if you just do like 3 of each color or whatever. That should be good for what we're going to be doing this morning. A little tiny yellow one. All kind of random. That's that color. I'm going to open that pile. Let me see. Transparent one. Of course, when you first, this is a perfect piece of glass. Well, it's straight, so of course it's not how you want it. You want it curved like a Christmas tree. So grab that. Oh. Should have had another carrot here. You have to be quick. That's a big Christmas tree. Too big. Way too big. Okay, and I'm going to make some little ones. That color. Okay. That color. Another color green. And we also, Laura, hi. I hope Regina made it home safe. Okay, next color. Oops. Tree. Trees. Trees. That's going to be good for that color. So I don't need to have too many. I think this one, this color here, I think we have enough variety in those shapes that we can actually make some of these work for our trees. So 144 goes away. Gonna get a variety down here. One perhaps the value now. Another tree. Oh, doink. Like my doink sounds when I'm cutting. Wrong way. Okay, so I'm gonna look at that color. And I'll do the spring green, nice and bright. And that'll be it, and then I can start assembling. Okay. Great. There. Five. Okay. So now, okay. I just want to, I'll move this out of the way. But these are, sounds nice, sounds like springtime. Anyway, so these are some of the Christmas ornaments that I typically make, but yeah, these are a variety: snowman, poinsettias, little houses, stars of David, Christmas trees. I'll put these over here, get them out of the way. See more of what we're doing. Okay, so what should we start on? So, black one? You want to do a bigger one or a smaller one? There you go. So for these, the snow, I typically do them with just a piece of glass, but I'm actually going to be using the frit. And we're going to get our little sheets of paper, protect our table. So we're going to be using hairspray on our piece of glass before we put any frit or anything on there, just so that it stays. And all these pieces of glass are being cleaned with a glass cleaner, right? Yes. Aureja did that part for the most part. And here's my winter mix of frit. I can actually get these out of the way too, because you won't know them at the moment. And you have your tweezers. Need a frit scoop. There's a frit tweezer scoop there. Need it to put the frit on. Okay. So the first thing with these ones, because I want the snow to cover the tree trunks, so we're actually going to figure out where we want to put the tree trunks. I hope you can see that. There we go. And how many I want, where the moon's going to go. So I'm going to use these nippers here, and I'm not necessarily going to be going all the way to the ground. Obviously, you can create hills. Like I can have the trunk up a little bit higher so it's on the top of a hill, and then the other one down below. So that's what I think I'm going to do. So there's one little tree, and I'm going to use super glue, which I have here. Super glue. And I'm going to put a dot, whoops, a dot where I want it to be. And don't get your fingers on there. You know what super glue does? It glues your fingers together.
I did that before.
So, and the next one I'm going to put further down the hill. So, there's that. And it gets nipped off. And then another one. So you can pick a tree, pick a tree, pick a tree trunk. And usually I have the thicker end down where the ground is, right? And I'm gonna do this. And I'm going to probably be drilling a hole in these. So you want to make sure that you leave a spot in the middle of the piece of glass open so that you can drill your glass, the hole in the glass, and you don't have a moon in the way or anything. So I'm putting my moon over here. So that's going to be my moon. It's going to be on the side. And you can pick out a moon once you have your piece of glass stuck down. I'm putting a dot of glue where the moon's supposed to be, so it also stays there while I'm doing my thing. I'm not going to put any tree branches on here because you can't really see them. So, and how are you doing? Okay. Okay. Pick another piece last. And now I'm going to spray this with hairspray. Just a little on the bottom. And I'm going to... Always knock things over. Okay, now I'm going to grab a little bit of my snow mixture. And pick a moon. Where you want it to be. And I'm just going to put the snow mixture down on the piece of glass. So again, okay. Now you do what?
Glue it down.
Did you glue the trees down?
No.
Okay. Glue it all down. Yep. Don't. Remember, just don't get your fingers near. Just drop the bit of glass or the glue down on the glass. Squeeze it harder. Yep. Just get it in between. If you just put it in between the two trunks, then it'll actually glue both of them at the same time. Okay, so that's done. So I'm going to spray this again, just so that, and very gently, because if I push the hairspray button too hard, it'll shoot all my snow off of there. Okay, so that is the snow. And I can add a little bit of color to that. I can actually, because on this piece I actually have like a little path put down there, made out of the blue glass. I can use gray if I wanted to. I'm going to use a little bit of gray or blue. Where is it? There we go. Another mix of mine. So I am going to put the pathway down there between the two trees. And it'll be in the blue tones again, so it's kind of matches the blue tones that are on the glass already. I can actually put a little bit underneath the tree trunks. And then, yeah, and so when you're putting it on, did you put hairspray on it?
No, I didn't.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, so you can dump that off. Nope, you just dump it off on there because you're actually going to be, get that out of the way. Pull that out of the way, hold that. Get back in there. Okay, so lay it down on there. Actually, you have to hairspray, right? So
yeah.
Pick it up just on the top. You're going to be spraying it. Just on the bottom. Not too bad. And try to get the whole piece of glass and hold it like that so it doesn't drip off. Okay. Now you can set it on the glass, on the sheet, and put your foot. So when you're putting it on, you're going like this, right?
Yeah.
So this hand stays still, and you try to go over top of the tree trunks, and you're tapping it. So you want that much snow on there. You don't use one hand because then you have less control, which you noticed, right? When you try to do it. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple little red dots on here. Who knows why? Just because I feel like it. So, and maybe I'll use a little bit of yellow. And it could be like a hint of something else, some other tree that the winter hasn't killed, or the leaves are from the fall. And they're sitting on the glass, on the snow. Okay, so that is done. Yep. You want to get a relatively thick layer on there. Right? Okay. And then we're going to make a little sky and snow mix. And I think I have some. I'm actually going to use this underneath here so I can put this up easier. Okay, so you can push this down if you want to have it a little hillier, right? Squeeze your tweezers like that, right? Okay. Then you pick it up and you gently spray that. So don't blow the frit off. Okay, my snow mix. I know I have it here somewhere. You stuff up. Okay, so I have like, it's a turquoise blue, and I'm going to put a little bit of white, and a little bit of clear. So we've cleaned off your piece of paper. Great. So we're gonna get a little cup, another little cup, and we're gonna do a little mix here. So I'm not gonna make very much. It doesn't take much, but so there's the snow. That's the white frit. Down below, so I can trip on it later. It's true, you know it's true. A little bit of turquoise. Actually, I don't think that'll turn up on this. So we're mixing this for the sky in the back here. Where's my frit is covered. Okay, so transparent. Another one. Some clear. So this is for the other landscape pieces. So and for these ones, we're just going to be putting 4 little scoops of clear. Again, I'm going to put it on the floor so I actually can trip on it. There we go. And there's our little mix for these little pieces. So you see there's a little bit of turquoise and white and clear on those. So that's for that. And then we're just going to use some of this for the snow on these pieces. So I'm going to spray my top. That's where the snow is going. So you can do the same. You want to put this underneath there so it's easier to lift off?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Don't lick your fingers. Okay, so then I'm just going to take my little scoop and I'm just going to create little snowflakes in the sky. Woo, she's excited. There we go. Exciting. So there is one little piece done. So that's going to be going into the kiln. So those are the midnight moonlight winter scenes. An example of them. So we'll just stick those over here out of the way while we create another one. And I'm going to clean up all the loose frit because we won't be using the same kind of, oh, we will be using the same kind of frit. You ready? You done? Did you want to put a little bit of color in your background?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I would clear off the white frit first. Take it back in a bit and just put it right into there. And did you want red or yellow?
Mm-hmm.
Yellow. Are you copying me?
No, I was thinking.
I know. Okay, so the ground is this color, right? So it's the same thing, just kind of, just put it where pretend there's a path, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, you can finish that off. So you can actually bring it down over here if you want to, so it's going off the picture. Oh, sorry. There you go. So if you hold it like this, then you can actually get, instead of where you were.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. Because otherwise, it looks kind of awkward. Better.
Yeah.
Okay. And then a little bit of yellow. Where did I put the yellow? Did I put it back? No, it didn't. Yes, I just grab a little. Just grab a little finger phone and just kind of sprinkle it on there and try to keep it on glass, not on paper, because you don't want to mix the yellow with the stuff that's on there already. There you go. You probably don't want that there. There we go. Her piece is done. You want to show it to everybody? Okay, so you just kind of take it up to this little camera here and don't flip it over. Ta-da! There's another little piece. Okay. So you just put it beside my piece over there. Don't spill it. Okay. So the next ones are, we're going to do one big one and one little one. You can do a big one. I'll take a couple, here's your little piece of glass to stick under there. Okay. And with these ones, like you can either put a little trunk on the tree, but I generally don't because they tend to separate off. So what we're going to do is just be putting the trees, the snow on, and then the trees, and then the little footballs, and then the sky and the snow. Okay? Okay, so again, and you know, for these you can always get a marker. Oh, there it is. So you can always, and so you can see where you're going and what you want to create. Now I can have the snow, the hill going way up. So then you actually have a line that you can work from, right? So we're not kind of guessing. But. So I'm going to spray. Again, these pieces of glass have been cleaned already. Spray. I'm going to get my tweezer scoop. I'm going to get my fret.
Did you spray the whole glass or
just the bottom? I just spray the bottom. Which we can. And there's the snow. Everybody chatting. How are we doing, everybody? Everybody following along okay? We can always like push it down if it gets off the line. You don't have to worry about it going over the line because you can always use your scoop to push it back down, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so now I got my snow on there. So I'm going to pick a couple of trees and I'm going to plant them. So some of these I'm going to actually. There's one tree. I'm going to put a couple of transparents. Well, that's a huge tree. I'm going to flip that around so the tree's actually going way down the hill. A little bit of tilt. And I get a little.
the different colors?
Yep, just pick whatever color you want. And you can cross them over like this too.
Do I spray it again?
No, because we're going to super glue these down. These get super glued. Spray isn't fast enough. Okay, so I'm having 3 trees on my hill. Can you see my little trees? 3 trees on the hill. And 2 of them are overlapping a little bit. And push it down into the snow, kind of a little bit, right? Yeah. Because if you don't, then it will look like the tree's floating. Okay. Yep, there's lots of colors over here. There's transparent colors. Nice that you have some transparent. You know, there's that kind of color green, which is really pretty. There you go. And you can crowd them all together. They don't, yeah, but you can overlap them a little bit. Yeah. You see how I put mine over top of that one, which is fine because it gives it kind of a little bit of depth. And I'm going to add a little bit of snow to the bottom again.
What kind of accent is that?
I have no idea. It's an Amanda accent. A little bit of snow. There we go. And again, push that down. And now I'm going to add a little bit of the ground or the little pathway or whatever I decide it's going to be. Goes into the snow pile. This goes back on here. I'm going to see if I have, let's see what I have over here. So I'm out of view here. These are, so this is kind of a mix of blues I'm going to use for the pathway. So anything goes basically, whatever you want to create. You're welcome. And again, I'm gonna use red this time in the snow. So I'm going off to find and look up a little dot of red. And it's not really a little dot because it's a big jar of it. Well, just a little cup. I'm gonna put a little bit in here. There we go. Put the lid back on. Here we are. And I'm putting a little bit of red in there. And it might be blood from the skiers. I'm just kidding. So, just kidding. So I'm covering up some of the spots with yellows. Yeah. Okay. You can do whatever you want. Okay, there you go. There you go on the blue. We have to clean off that.
Yeah.
There's that white on there too, so you can't put it back in here either. It's contaminated now. So it's okay. Okay, so did you hairspray that? So we're gonna hairspray the bottom. Again. Hairspray bottom. I'm gonna push my snow down a little bit. There. And now we're going to put the little balls on the trees, which is always fun. So the thing about the balls, when I make them, sometimes they don't use thin fire. And thin fire is a shelf separator. So it's a shelf separator so that they don't stick to the kiln shelf. Because even if you just use kiln wash on the kiln shelves, the opal glass, which is what most of these little balls are, will stick. Well, they'll pick up some of the kiln shelf material or the kiln wash. And so you'll have a little bit of white on your dot, which is a problem if you don't get them off before you put them on your piece. So here's an example. They're so small. See, there's a little bit of white on that. That is the kiln wash. So either you soak it in vinegar or you get a little hand pad and but if you put them on your glass with that little white dot, they will not stick to your glass. So because that's a separator, so it will not allow the little football to adhere to your Christmas tree. So always check the backs of your footballs and do not use the ones that have a little white on if you're in a big rush. So, okay, does that make sense? Yeah, let's check the backs. It's good. You're good. Okay, so this is always interesting because there's two sides to the football. There's a flat side and there's a round side. So I always try to put on the tree a flat side. And I'm going to put a little dot of super glue on there right away so that it's not behaving today. Wee. Yeah, sorry about this. There we go. Okay. And now I'm going to pick a little red one. Little tiny, I'm going to make sure I have the flat spot. There's the flat spot. Oh, and even then, and even when you do get the flat spot and you have it in the right place and you want it to stay there and we stick it in the kiln, guess what? These little footballs have a mind of their own sometimes and they'll actually pop off or roll off of where you place them. So you're not guaranteed a happy placement for your footballs. It's all good. It's just fun.
I got all the buttons.
There we go. Yeah. Did you get your blue on there?
Not yet. The blue one.
Okay.
And then we'll get into dancing.
Okay. And so on and so on. Okay, I'm gonna put another. You see, these take a little bit of time to do. It's not a quick and easy thing, but here. Don't get your tweezer in there. So so never ever put your tweezer where your football is. You only drop the glue down on the football from a distance. You do not like it when you're right beside it, because otherwise it'll stick to your finger or your tweezer, which you found, and you can't do that even. You'll have to place it on there without using the tweezer. Because the tweezer has glue on it now. Okay, so now you drop a little bit of the glue onto that football again. It beside it. Make sure it gets. You didn't glue your trees down, did you?
No.
You have to glue your trees down too. So don't. No. Put it back where it was. Remember, you don't have to pick up any glass and put the super glue down.
Oh, yeah.
You just put it to the side and then it. Yeah. There you go. And it kind of wicks its way underneath. You put enough on there. So you have to be able to see it wicking underneath there. So there you go. Okay. Good enough. Okay, so I'm going to put a couple of blue footballs on here. Finding a flat spot. There it is. No. Did you put it all the way up the tree?
No, I put it right here.
Yeah. No, don't need that much. That should be good. Okay. So, is that all the footballs you're doing?
No, I just did the blue ones.
Okay.
Where's the
Yellow is here. Remember,
Yeah.
watch out for the white backing. It could be dangerous. Okay. So here we go. Here. That didn't like being on that spot. Here we go. Try again. Here's some have. That didn't help one, did it? No, I like this one.
Oh.
Okay. You can always spit on it if you. Okay, is that the only color we have? Where's my... So this is opaline, so these are... I love the color of this glass. If I can show it to you. I can pick it up and show it to you. I don't know if you'll see that, but you can see that it has kind of a reddish orangey glow to it. So that'll show up on your pieces as well. So that flat spot. There we go. I'm trying to there, and I might put a little dot of blue on there ahead of time. Okay. Oh yes, and there's the blue on the tweezers. On your flat spot. Rolling around. Okay, I know this is like painstaking and slow. See, the frit balls can be a nightmare. That's that. I think I have one more. Find the flat spot first before you put it on the glass. So the bait, just rolling it around, like put it on the table, and let it roll and find its flat spot. When it doesn't roll around anymore, then find the flat spot. Okay? Now, yep. Okay. Now the next step is to put the snow, actually the sky in the background and then the snow. So here we go. Still 3. So here we are. Spray. Now I'm spraying the background. I'm actually going to put the snow in the sky. And there we go. It's going to be a wintry day. You can actually put some of it on the trees as you're scooping it on. And that's all I'm going to do to that. So there's my little...
Wait, do I spray it first?
Yes. So that's my little winter scene on clear glass. So that goes over here, and I'll put it in the kiln. Yeah, I'll just wait till Aureja's finished, and then that's it for the demo. So you go up high, so you start at the top and you kind of go back and forth, right? I'm going to show you how. Okay, so we're just going to see what's going back and forth, okay? And super glue lid back on for the moment. Yeah, you can put more on. Put some on your trees too, because the white will show up on the trees. The snow on the trees. Okay. Ta-da! Now you can show your little scene to everyone. Here she comes on the run with a burr and a bun. It's a Christmas ornament. Okay, so yeah, you can just put it over there for the moment. Okay, so that is it for today. Sorry about the little glitch at the beginning where we didn't have anything for a little bit. We had to switch over to a new live stream because the other one didn't work. So, but I hope you enjoyed our little demo on Christmas ornaments or landscape Christmas ornaments. So I hope you're enjoying the Turbo Arts virtual studio tour and you're visiting all the other artists' studios to see what's happening there on the live streams. And come back in 2 days on Monday I'm actually going to be doing part 2 of my landscape pieces. So we'll be starting assemblage of those. And Aureja will be back next week. And so anyway, for another thing. But enjoy your day. And I'm Amanda Taylor from Oatka Glass Studio. This is Aureja. Applause her for helping me. And we'll see you again next week. Bye. And I want to end.